What is the secret to Finger Lakes? Some say a secret submarine tunnel system for human trafficking, the map of which is tattooed on Hunter Biden's back. Hunter Biden's laptop contains graphic sex acts with a 10-year-old niece, Natalie Biden, and Republican senator resigns after caught texting child porn. These people are so disgusting. Global financial crisis, global currency reset, Jassara Nassara. Israel's central bank replaces the US dollar reserves with Chinese currency. UK insolvencies are already rising and could climb further as soaring inflation causes cracks in the economy to deepen. AT&T still looks weak after divestitures, says Moffett. Fierce Wireless. That's Fierce Wireless, I guess, is the company. And Bitcoin about to report very ugly earnings. When will that go away?
So the video you're seeing on the screen right now, it's from the 1950s. People speak about anti-gravity. It's not anti-gravity, it's electromagnetic levitation, and it's the type of technology that they had in the Second World War, and of course way before in the 19th and 18th and 17th centuries. It's what we understand as, wrongly understand as Tartaria or Tartary. It's not that, it's beyond that, it's more than that, but for the sake of understanding, the reset of humanity and what happened to the previous civilization that built the Americas and Europe and what we call today Russia and Siberia. So yeah, this is kind of like everything is electromagnetism, everything is like extracting the energy from the ether, which was forbidden at the beginning of the 20th century. It was forbidden specifically by law to be able to use free energy and to extract the energy from the ether, etc. So yeah, there you go. It's just for your own knowledge.
Not only have the rigged elections shaken up France, but there was an earthquake in Paris on the 22nd. An earthquake without information of strength and depth has occurred around 10:34 in the French capital. That's unheard of. They don't get earthquakes there. The epicenter is located about 500 meters from the train main station. According to the media, there was a fatal incident in Paris where 2 people are reported to have died. The bridge Pont Neuf is mentioned here. According to the media, of course, it is pointed out that the incident happened near the Eiffel Tower, under which the newly elected President Macron is said to have given a speech. Fact is, the epicenter is as far away from the bridge as the Eiffel Tower. And then you have earthquakes in Macedonia, Turkey, and Greece. And earthquakes this was in February, Cyprus regions and connection lines to Switzerland and Germany. These are all the tunnel lines, child trafficking tunnel lines. Massive clean out in Indonesia. So lots of these clean-outs are going on with these direct energy weapons that cause these earthquakes that are very shallow, 10 kilometers or less. Exactly like in US with Biden and Trudeau in Canada. Same exact Dominion company behind the same exact voter frauds. was all a show so people could clearly see it and wake up. And then protests in France. Also, there were street clashes in Paris after Macron's re-election, which was believed to run rampant. In one of the videos, the crowd chants, "We beheaded Louis the 16th. We can repeat the same with Macron." Oh my goodness. Durham report. The latest Durham efforts to uncover the broader Clinton Fusion Perkins joint venture, aka conspiracy, not a theory. This includes a link to all emails between Fusion GPS and the press filed by Durham last night, and since removed from the public docket. Durham confirms Adam Schiff was involved in Russia hoax in 2016. Probably lots more. So there's some panic going on. There's always been panic going on in D.C. since Trump came into office.
So let's bring about the change this country needs.
Well, boys, we're all set. We got the directions.
It's an accident. The crock skidded.
So did your brain.
How did I know he was a detective?
And the judge says we'll be out of here in 8 months on good behavior.
They can't hang us. We're innocent. We're innocent.
White Hat's intelligence. The biggest threats facing America include Wall Street criminals and elite pedophiles. Nevada's Sheriff's Group, the National Security Agency, has every single email, cell call, text, game chat, and banking game chat. They communicate through gaming because that goes through the internet, and it's just the way that they do it to hide what they're talking to each other. And banking transaction for every trader, every elite pedophile, every Wall Street criminal, and every corrupt government official at the local, state, and federal levels. So yes, the NSA has it all. No army of lawyers are going to be able to stand up to an Army Ranger battalion with fixed bayonets. We are coming. I will tell you with absolute certainty that the thing that Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff fear most isn't jail, but us releasing their 10 most treasonous phone calls to their own public. They will be torn limb from limb on their own streets. Wouldn't that be something to see? That would be sweet justice now, wouldn't it? Germany, decree of the military transitional government. It's interesting because you hear some things in the mainstream media that sound like, they're pushing passports and everything, and then you hear this. So obviously the mainstream media lies, and we know that. The declaration was issued in cooperation with the World Allied Forces, the Federation of Earth Defense Special Forces, and the Intergalactic Earth Protection Special Forces as White Hats. Corresponding cease and desist orders are now being sent throughout Germany by email and mail, etc. That's going to make the Germans really happy. Transitional government forces are being deployed all over the world to protect humanity. So that's beginning. Transitional government forces. If anybody spots, if you work in government and you start seeing people showing up saying they're for the transitional government, that's the beginning. They are setting up military courts that can, among other things, sentence to death people who violate this decree. There will be no exceptions in Germany either. All German politicians have received a letter to cease their activities. So it looks like the politicians on one side are still trying to push their narrative and their agenda. The mainstream media is still trying to lie to the people that it's still happening. But really, what's really happening is these transitional government forces are showing up. The plan is moving forward. Letters are going out. Again, nothing can stop what is coming. In this context, Germany refers not only to the legally continuing German Reich, but also to all entities located there, such as the Weimar Republic or the FRG. In this context, the Commander-in-Chief does not take into account any state border. The German Reich continues to exist because there was only an armistice after the First World War. It has been sovereign since 1968, but could become incapable of acting because of structures that no longer exist today. Germany is currently no longer considered occupied, so the laws of the transitional military government, known as SHAEF, SHAEF, for support, still apply. All German parliaments are organs of corporations based in the German Empire. I'm guessing once these transitional governments go into place, they set up courts, they're going to have to do things locally. There's going to have to be local courts, military tribunal courts. I'm guessing that's the only way they can do it because there's so many people, like some of the nurses that still
down there, 100 meters underground to the Atlas experiment at CERN. Yeah, so that wheel, hundreds of people have been working on that wheel for several years, and it's now finally ready. It's a magnificent piece of work, a magnificent piece of engineering and science, and now it's ready. Now it's ready to be taken and finally be able to do its job.
Alright, Monday, April 25th, Mel K had an interview with Benjamin Fulford. It was a really good one too, so I recommend everyone to watch it. Today's geopolitical moves and counter moves. So here are some of the highlights. Fulford, I understand that the war in Ukraine is over. The real reason the Russians attacked Mariupol was because that was the Nazi headquarters. The real one. Refugees are returning to Ukraine. So that was the Nazi headquarters, not Kyiv. Fulford, another thing I'm hearing from the Russians is that witches, and this is weird stuff, they have gathered together to make a 40-day incantation with curses and hexes. And the Russians have gathered all of the shamans from all over Siberia who are invoking the nature god. So not only are they fighting on the ground, but there is spiritual stuff going on. I posted a video of the shamans chanting, which is dramatic. And then Mel K, this is really happening. Fulford, it is like the final war between the Satanists and the monotheists, with the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, the real ones and not the pretend ones. And CERN, I hear, is they are trying to create a portal. Fallen angels came to Earth thousands of years ago. And an intergalactic force has come to Earth in order to permanently remove them from Earth.